Have you ever felt like you're trapped in a rat race fighting tirelessly, but always ending up in the same place? Or worse, this question echoes in your field of consciousness, a resonance of frustration that many know deeply. It's the feeling that no matter how hard you try, how many strategies you change, or how many gurus you follow, reality seems to insist on sending you back to the starting line, perhaps even a little more exhausted and cynical. Your being yearns for clarity and authentic truth that goes beyond cliches, seeking an answer to this relentless cycle that robs you of your energy and hope. You feel there's something more, a key that most ignore, a metaphorical neuroscience of existence that will unravel why so much effort results in so much emptiness, keeping your soul in an incessant wait for something that always seems out of reach, a true paradox of manifestation. I know this feeling, the exhaustion that comes from trying everything, from following all advice, from striving harder than anyone, and yet the label of loser seems to stick to you. It's frustrating, I know, to the point of exhausting your neuroplasticity and undermining your internal coherence, generating a deep vibrational dissonance. This pain is not a sign of weakness, but an indication that your internal compass is seeking a more precise alignment with the vast quantum field of possibilities that life offers. You are not broken. You are simply operating under a set of rules that do not serve your true essence, your spiritual totality. It's the weight of carrying an identity imposed by a system that doesn't understand the mechanics of energy and intention that blinds you to the true wave collapse potential of your consciousness, keeping you in a cycle of subtle yet relentless self-sabotage. But what if I told you that your struggle, your titanic effort to not be a loser, is exactly what's keeping you stuck in this reality? It's like trying to push a door that only opens by pulling. You're expending all your energy in the wrong direction, vibrating at the frequency of resistance and not of creation. This is the paradox of inverse vibration. In the quantum physics of consciousness, where the observer collapses the wave, your focus on what you don't want to be or have paradoxically feeds its existence in your vibrational field. Your subconscious, like a quantum processor, doesn't understand no. It only processes the image, the emotion, and the frequency of the thing itself. By fighting against the label of loser, you validate it, infusing it with your precious life energy, and maintaining it as an apparent truth in your holographic universe, in a cycle of constant feedback. In this video, I will reveal the paradox of inverse vibration, the quantum trick most ignore, that will free you from this trap of effort and show you the path to manifesting success with an ease you can't even imagine. It's not about a new effort, technique, or more discipline, but a deep reconfiguration of your perception, a true neuroplasticity of the soul that adjusts your frequency to what you truly desire. You will learn to deactivate the patterns of resistance that have hindered your manifestation, to reprogram your energetic field to attract without struggle, to align with the universal intelligence that orchestrates everything. Imagine the feeling of releasing an invisible weight you didn't even know you were carrying. Feeling your essence expand freely, allowing abundance to flow without blockages, transforming your reality from a constant struggle into a continuous flow of desired outcomes. Breathe deeply, feel the truth resonate in every cell of your being, and prepare for your biggest game changer. This is not an invitation to merely hear words, but to activate an inner portal, a resonance with your totality that will allow the collapse of a new wave of possibilities. Feel this energy flowing, unblocking the channels, aligning your frequency with the purest intention of your soul. Allow curiosity to take over. Let the old narrative begin to dissolve, opening space for crystalline clarity and genuine empowerment that transcends everything you once knew. This is the moment to abandon resistance and allow the quantum wisdom of your own consciousness to reveal itself, gently guiding you out of the loser's shadow and into the light of a master manifester, fully aware of your power. Feel now the depth of what we have just unveiled, for the key to your liberation lies in understanding a fundamental quantum mechanism, the paradox of inverse vibration, where the very force you employ to repel what you don't desire is the same energy that invites it to remain in your orbit. You find yourself in a constant battle, an exhausting struggle against the shadow of impending failure, against the possibility of not being enough, of being the loser your mind insists on projecting. This struggle is not a mere metaphor. It is an intense energetic activity that your vital field is registering, a frequency that is being incessantly transmitted to the universe. Every cell of your being, every beat of your heart, every thought focused on not wanting this or I need to avoid that, becomes a powerful emitter. Imagine yourself as a lighthouse in the ocean of existence, but instead of emitting light towards a safe harbor, you project a wave of energy that attracts exactly what you seek to avoid, perpetuating the cycle of incessant seeking and dissatisfaction. Your attention is not just a mental focus, it is a stream of electromagnetic energy, a field of coherence that, according to quantum physics, interacts with and shapes reality. When you direct your attention to I don't want to be poor, I don't want to get sick, I don't want this failed relationship anymore, your life energy flows abundantly into the idea of poverty, of sickness, of relational failure. The universe, in its infinite neutrality, does not distinguish between I want and I don't want. It responds to the predominant frequency you are emitting. You become an epicenter of resonance for what you most fear or strive to avoid. Your soul, in its purest essence, seeks expansion and manifestation, but the mind, trapped in the logic of struggle, unconsciously channels this creative force to sustain the very scenario it desperately tries to dismantle. This is the relentless mirror of your own vibrational creation, reflecting what you, unconsciously, insist on nurturing with your valuable energy. This perpetuation dynamic has a deep basis in the metaphorical neuroscience of your own brain. Neuroplasticity, the remarkable ability of your nervous system to restructure itself, operates relentlessly according to your focus. Each time you dedicate yourself to not failing, you not only reinforce the neural network associated with the idea of failure, but also strengthen it, creating neural superhighways that make it increasingly easy and automatic to tune into the frequency of fear and resistance. It's like carving a deep path in the forest of your mind. The more you walk it, the more it becomes the default route, the trail you traverse without even noticing. This repetition of negative thought patterns and active struggle creates a dense vibrational field around you, an aura of effort that repels the natural flow of abundance and ease. Your mind, your energy, and your body become an orchestra that incessantly plays the melody of scarcity and resistance, for this is the score you feed with your constant attention and your precious energy. Now, I invite you to visualize your consciousness as a quantum spotlight of immense power, capable of illuminating and materializing possibilities in the vast field of all probabilities. On this stage of existence, the universe silently awaits to manifest that upon which you direct your light. Every thought, every emotion, every ingrained belief acts as a fine-tuning adjustment in the direction and intensity of this singular spotlight. When you turn it on, reality reorganizes itself to correspond to what is being illuminated, like a wave collapse of infinite possibilities into a single tangible experience. This spotlight does not discriminate. It does not judge whether what you illuminate is good or bad, desirable or undesirable. It simply obeys your focused intention, your predominant energy, the vibrational resonance you are actively cultivating. Feel the inherent power of this tool, the responsibility it carries, for it is your master compass in the creation of your own reality. Think now, if your quantum spotlight, this powerful tool of your consciousness, is incessantly pointed at the shadow of avoiding failure, towards the image of not being a loser, what do you believe is being intensely illuminated in your reality? You are, in fact, granting undeniable vibrational prominence to the very condition you yearn to transcend. It's like a gardener who, desperate to eradicate weeds, spends all his time looking at them, talking about them, researching how to combat them, instead of focusing on the beauty and flourishing of the plants he truly wishes to cultivate. All your energy, your most valuable attention, is feeding the ecosystem of weeds in your life, granting them more soil, more light, more water to grow and strengthen. Perceive the subtlety, yet the devastating depth of this misconception. By fighting against, you become entangled in an energetic dance with what you least want, solidifying its presence in your perceived reality. The more you direct the light of your quantum spotlight towards the shadows of failure and the loser identity, the more defined these shadows become, the more they gain sharp contours and an undeniable presence in the tapestry of your existence. They cease to be mere distant possibilities and manifest as real events, as persistent feelings, as repetitive patterns that mirror themselves in your daily life. The coherence between your internal focus and your external reality strengthens, creating a vicious cycle where the very observation of what you don't want seems to validate its inevitability. It's a game of mirrors where you project what you don't desire, and the universe, as a perfect reflection, returns that amplified projection to you. This is not a judgment from the universe, but a law of vibrational physics. What you nourish with your attention and emotion expands. Feel the weight of this truth, the depth of this revelation, and begin to question where, exactly, your precious spotlight has been focused. I invite you now to feel this truth in your own body, to somatize the experience of this invisible struggle. Notice the tension in your shoulders when you think about what you need to avoid, the contraction in your stomach when the anxiety of not failing sets in. Feel the weariness that permeates your soul at the end of a day where you fought against every obstacle, without realizing that this very struggle was draining your most vital energy. This is the physical manifestation of your quantum spotlight, constantly directed at what you don't want. Your life energy, which should be nurturing and building your dreams, is being diverted to sustain a battle that cannot be won by resistance, only by a change of focus. Your breath, your heartbeats, the very chemistry of your body, all align with the frequency of struggle, scarcity, inadequacy, creating a tangible reality that you experience day after day. This is the principle of resonance in its purest and most visceral form. What you focus on, you become. What you feed expands in your experience. If your mind and heart resonate with the frequency of absence, limitation, scarcity, then the quantum field, which is the field of all possibilities and all frequencies, will respond with more of that. The reality you perceive is not something external and fixed. It is a vibrational projection of your dominant internal state. Your loser identity, the feeling of always struggling, is not an intrinsic flaw of your being. It is an echo, a precise reflection of the energy you are radiating into the universe. Feel the liberating responsibility that comes with this clarity. You are not a victim of a cruel fate, but the often unconscious architect of your own experience through your vibrational focus. So, feel this now as the words resonate in your essence. Where in your life are you so viscerally focused on avoiding what you don't want that you have, in some subtle and energetic way, forgotten to direct your full and unwavering energy towards what you truly, deeply desire? Allow this question to penetrate the layers of your conscious mind and reach the silent wisdom of your soul. Where is your quantum spotlight at this very moment? Does it illuminate the shadows of fear and lack? Or is it pointed towards the clear and brilliant vision of your most authentic desires? There is no judgment here, just an invitation for the deepest self-perception, for radical honesty with yourself. Observe, without guilt, the patterns of focus that have shaped your reality. For recognition is the first spark of transformation, the first step towards the conscious reorientation of your energy. Recognizing this truth, that you are co-creating what you don't want by fighting against it, is indeed the first and most crucial step in your journey of vibrational mastery. It's like waking up from a dream where you were running in circles, exhausting yourself without purpose. But how, you ask? Do we stop fighting against these ghosts that seem so real? These shadows that your quantum spotlight has illuminated for so long? How do we shift our attention not by mere willpower, which is another form of struggle, but by an intrinsic change of state and direction? The answer is not in fighting the fight, but in dismantling the very structure that feeds this internal battle. The secret, the true quantum turning point you seek, lies in unmasking the internal narrative, the silent and subconscious script that has dictated your actions, your emotions, and consequently, your vibration and your reality. If this perspective of the paradox of inverse vibration, if the understanding that your struggle is shaping your reality, resonates deeply with the truth you feel in your soul, then I invite you to an act of energetic alignment. Click like now, not as a mere mechanical gesture, but as a conscious intention, a clear and unwavering signal that you send to the quantum field, to the entire universe, affirming that you are ready. Ready to invert your vibration. Ready to direct your spotlight to what you truly desire. Ready to exit the exhausting dance of resistance and enter the flow of effortless manifestation. Let this simple click be your first act of permission, your declaration that you are fit to receive the clarity and power that will follow. As we prepare to unveil the hidden script that traps you, you feel the truth of this internal struggle, this sense that something deeper is holding you back, something that goes beyond external circumstances or a sheer lack of effort. Your mind, your vibrational essence, is at this very moment running a program that was installed without your conscious permission, a script that dictates every step and every outcome. It is the internal loser script, a silent yet incredibly potent narrative that has been written and codified in your subconscious over years, perhaps by childhood experiences, by repeated messages from society, or even by resonance with collective energies that validate scarcity and limitation. This program is not a reflection of who you truly are. It is a projection, a vibrational illusion that you have accepted as reality, and it is what orchestrates the sequence of events you call failure, keeping you trapped in a cycle of exhausting repetition. Feel this, the slight sting of truth when you recognize that the greater battle is not out there, but in the depths of your own being, in the invisible architecture of your consciousness. It is here, at this fundamental level, that the true paradigm shift begins to manifest. These subconscious programs, these limiting beliefs about who you are and what you are capable of achieving, operate as electromagnetic frequencies within your energy field. Imagine them as invisible yet powerful radio waves that are constantly transmitting to the universe, and the universe, in its quantum perfection, responds in kind. If the dominant frequency you emit is, "I am not good enough," "I always fail," or "success is not for me," then your external reality must, by pure law of resonance, align with these transmissions. It is not a punishment, but an impeccable mirroring of what is being projected from within. Your soul, your purest essence, knows you are limitless. But these programs create a layer of noise, a vibrational interference that prevents your true brilliance from fully manifesting. The frustration you feel is your soul's cry trying to awaken you to the incoherence between who you are in essence and the program you are running. For the game changer to be real and lasting, we need to look within, into that vast and mysterious territory that is your subconscious mind. Think of it, metaphorically, as the most sophisticated and powerful operating system in the universe, running inside you. Every belief, every repetitive thought pattern, every ingrained fear is a program, an executable file that dictates the functions and outputs of your life. If, by chance, this operating system is running a program called loser.exe, no matter how diligently you try to install new applications of success, prosperity, or happiness at the conscious level, the fundamental system will continue to operate under the rules and limitations of that root program. It's like trying to navigate a computer with a hidden virus, where all your attempts at productivity are sabotaged by code you don't even know is there. This is the essence of the paradox of inverse vibration. You struggle consciously, but the subconscious program vibrates in the opposite direction, and it is the deepest vibration that always prevails in the wave collapse of possibilities. This loser.exe was not a program you chose to install. It was compiled from traumatic experiences, from depreciating remarks you heard in childhood, from painful comparisons, or even from a simple internalization of collective fears that permeate society. And once installed, it becomes invisible to most, operating in the background, silently dictating your reactions, your choices, and even how you interpret external events. You find yourself acting in certain ways, procrastinating, self-sabotaging, or repeatedly attracting the same undesirable results. And you ask yourself, why do I do this? Why do I always return to the same place? The answer is there, pulsing at an underground frequency. It is your subconscious operating system, faithfully executing the code of a program that no longer serves you, that no longer represents you, but that has become the autopilot of your reality, the foundation of your energy field. And I know you feel the weight of this, the exhaustion of trying, of fighting the symptoms of the program without ever addressing the root. It's like trying to cure a disease without identifying the virus. You strive, you visualize, you affirm, but loser.exe continues to rewrite the code of your manifestation, bringing forth results that validate its existence, reinforcing the belief that you are, in fact, a loser. This is the cruelest trap. The very struggle to stop being a loser becomes the fuel that feeds the program, because your energy, your attention, your emotion are focused on what you don't want, and the universe, like a perfect mirror, reflects that intention back to you, solidifying the reality you are more concerned with avoiding than truly creating. It's a vicious cycle, but one that can be broken at the most fundamental level of your being. But here lies your quantum turning point, your genuine liberation. You are not condemned to run this loser.exe forever. Your mind is not a closed system. It is a dynamic, malleable energy field in constant flux. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize itself to create new synapses and therefore new programs, is scientific proof of this malleability. Metaphorically, quantum physics reminds us that reality is fluid, that particles behave differently depending on the observer, and you, the conscious observer, have the power to become the master programmer of your own internal reality, the architect of your vibrational experience. The battle is not about fighting against the old program, but about building a new one, about rewriting the source code of your existence with intention and alignment, raising your frequency to a new state of being, consciously and lovingly. Feel now, for a moment, the energy of this loser script acting in your body, in your daily choices. Feel the tension in your shoulders when you try something new and fear whispers, "It will go wrong again." Notice the contraction in your solar plexus when an opportunity arises and the inner voice says, "You don't deserve it." This is the somatization of your limiting beliefs, the way the program physically manifests in you, in your emotions and your physiology. This stagnant energy, this low frequency, creates an invisible barrier that prevents the flow of abundance, joy, and success into your life. You feel your energy drained, your motivation declining, the difficulty in sustaining elevated states. Understanding that this is not a personal failure, but a manifestation of a program, already begins to dissolve the weight of guilt and inadequacy. Allow yourself to feel this truth, not with judgment, but with the curiosity of a quantum scientist observing a phenomenon. It is crucial that you allow yourself to look at the story you tell yourself, the story that repeats like a silent mantra within you. This narrative is not just a set of words, it is a frequency, a vibration that you are constantly emitting, and the universe responds to that frequency with the echo of the same story. If your story is one of failure, of limitation, of being a loser, then your reality shapes itself to validate that narrative. It's not because the universe is cruel, but because it is perfectly responsive, a relentless mirror of your inner truth. The only way to change the melody is to change the score, and the score is engraved in the depths of your subconscious. Your external reality is merely a magnified reflection of your internal programming, of the script you have been following, often without even realizing your silent and unwitting authorship. So feel this now, deeply. What old narratives are you still telling yourself, consciously or more often unconsciously, that stubbornly trap you in the role of a loser? What are the phrases that echo in your mind when you face a challenge, when you think about your dreams, or when you compare yourself to others? Is it the voice of doubt, fear, inadequacy? Is it the belief that this isn't for me, or I never succeed? Allow these narratives to surface. Do not judge them. Just observe them as a neutral observer. Feel the vibration they carry, the energy they project into your field. Recognizing these stories is the first and most vital step to deprogram them. It is to shine the light of consciousness upon the hidden code that has limited your potential. The good news, the liberating truth I want you to absorb now, is that you don't need an advanced quantum IT degree to rewrite this internal operating system. You don't need years of therapy or exhaustive struggles against yourself. The solution is within your reach, waiting to be activated by you. There exists a simple yet powerful and elegantly effective tool, a technique that will deprogram these old scripts, these loser.exe files that have been running silently, and will give you total control over your vibration, allowing you to install new software of success, abundance, and fulfillment. This tool is not something external you need to acquire. It already resides within you, an innate capacity of your consciousness, ready to be awakened and utilized. It is the key to transmuting this struggle into flow, and the loser identity into a master manifester. For this tool to begin manifesting in your reality, for the energy of change to settle into your vibrational field now, I invite you to take an active step of intention. Leave a comment below, affirming with clarity and power, I rewrite my destiny. Feel the strength of these words, not just as a superficial gesture, but as a declaration of sovereignty over your internal operating system. Allow this affirmation to resonate in every cell of your body, sending a new frequency to the universe, an unmistakable signal that you are ready to dismantle the old programs and build your new reality. By doing this, you are already activating a process of quantum reprogramming, inviting the energy of transformation to flow freely through you, beginning to feel the vibration of change already starting to flow, to manifest in every fiber of your being. You have journeyed through deep revelations, unveiling the paradox of inverse vibration and unmasking the internal scripts that held you in a cycle of sterile effort. Now prepare for the apex of this quantum turning point, the true leap that redefines your interaction with the universe. Vibrational permission. It is not about another technique to do or fight for something, but rather the supreme art of allowing the reality you yearn for to flow towards you with a lightness and speed that defy all your previous programming of exhaustive effort. It is time to let go of the reins of resistance, to abandon the illusion that manifestation is a battlefield, and to embrace the truth that your victory already exists, merely awaiting your permission to emerge. Feel the magnitude of this shift in perspective, for it is the key to the freedom you so deeply seek and for which your soul incessantly yearns. Vibrational permission is the conscious surrender to the flow of universal intelligence, a deep acceptance that you are an intrinsic co-creator, not a gladiator fighting for scraps. Imagine yourself as a river, where your desires are the ocean towards which you naturally flow. Struggle and resistance are the dams that you, unconsciously, build in your own path, impeding the natural movement and generating the exhaustion that has accompanied you until now. To allow is to dismantle these dams, to trust the innate wisdom of the current, and to let it carry you, smoothly, inevitably, to your desired destination. It is a paradigm shift where excessive control is replaced by active faith, where brute force gives way to the fluidity of connection. Your reality is not shaped by your willpower to impose something, but by your ability to align with the frequency of what is already yours by vibrational right, allowing synchronicity to dance in your life, unimpeded and gracefully. This permission is by no means passivity, but a highly active way of directing your energy, a conscious and sovereign internal calibration. If the internal loser script programmed you to expect the worst, to believe that success is always arduous and unattainable, vibrational permission is the overlay software that overrides this obsolete and limiting programming, opening space for new and powerful beliefs. You are no longer trying to avoid failure, as we have exhaustively explored, but rather opening yourself up fully to the entry and permanence of success. It's a shift from the frequency of I don't want this to I accept this with my whole being, and the vibrational difference between these two affirmations is the abyss that separates incessant struggle from effortless manifestation. Feel the resonance of this truth in every cell of your being, for it is the language of your quantum field, invariably responding to your internal state of being and not to your external efforts. Allow yourself to be an eager receiver. Allow yourself to be unconditionally worthy now and forever. Feel this now as you read. The visceral difference between the contraction of struggle and the limitless expansion of permission. Remember that moment when you felt exhausted, drained, with tense shoulders and a clenched jaw from the incessant attempt to force a result, to control the uncontrollable. That is the energy of resistance, a vibrational battlefield where every effort is a barrier you yourself build, impeding the natural flow of life. Now, exhale slowly, relax your shoulders, release the tension in your face and your neck. Imagine you are lying in a soft hammock under a starry sky, and everything that needs to be done is already in motion. perfectly orchestrated for you. Feel the lightness that floods your body, the openness in your chest, the calm that settles in. This is the feeling of permission. It is the release of an invisible burden, the deep conviction that you are being sustained, that abundance and victory are flowing towards you, without you having to lift a single finger in desperation or excessive effort. It is the peace of knowing that victory is inevitable when you simply allow. To understand this quantum turning point on an even deeper and more tangible level, imagine your consciousness as a high-precision radio. You don't struggle to pick up a radio station. There's no effort, no perspiration involved in trying to push the air or yell at the device to get it to tune into your favorite music. If you're trying to listen to a classical symphony and the radio is on a heavy rock station, you don't fight with the heavy rock. You simply recognize the current frequency and, with a gentle, intentional movement, you adjust the dial. Vibrational permission is precisely that movement, a gentle adjustment of your inner dial, not an external battle. It's the recognition that if your current reality doesn't resonate with your deepest desires, you're tuned into a different frequency, and the solution isn't more effort on the wrong frequency but a conscious and deliberate redirection. Your manifested reality is the sound that emanates with crystalline fidelity from your vibrational speakers. If the music you've been hearing is the out-of-tune melody of failure, scarcity, or frustration, it's not an inherent defect in the universe or a personal curse that haunts you. It is simply a matter of frequency, an invariable law of the quantum field. What you collapse into your field of experience is a direct resonance of what you are emitting, and even more importantly, what you are allowing the universe to transmit back to you in a perfect mirror. Instead of focusing on silencing the bad music, which is the equivalent of fighting to not be a loser, your power lies in turning the dial to the station of victory, abundance, expansive joy. And this change of station is done with permission, with the inner certainty that this new frequency is accessible, and that you are worthy of hearing it, of experiencing it fully, without self-judgment or doubt. It is the tuning of your being with the totality of your essence. By adjusting the dial of permission, you are not creating the station of success. It already exists, eternally available in the quantum ether of infinite possibilities, awaiting to be recognized and tuned into. You are simply choosing to tune into it, activating it through your consciousness and your elevated vibration. And by doing so, you allow the melody of your desired destiny to begin flowing through you, to you, and into your tangible reality, like a river finding the ocean. This fluidity is the absence of resistance, the recognition that there is no separation at a fundamental level between you and your desires. They are part of the same vibrational tapestry, interconnected and intrinsically united, and permission is the weaver that joins the threads into a masterpiece. Feel the liberation that comes with this understanding. You don't need to force the music to play, you just need to allow it to flow freely. The universe, in its infinite wisdom and generosity, imposes no conditions for abundance. It merely responds to your frequency of acceptance and openness. Your part is to turn the dial with clear intention and unwavering trust, surrendering the how to the unified field. Think of the invigorating feeling when you finally tune into that music that makes your body vibrate in unison, that gives you chills from head to toe, that fills you with a contagious and undeniable joy. It's not an intellectual joy, one you need to analyze or justify, but a joy that resonates in every fiber of your being, that makes you want to dance or simply surrender completely to the present moment. This is the feeling that vibrational permission brings to manifestation in your life. When you allow yourself to tune into the frequency of victory, abundance, unconditional love, it's not just a fleeting idea in your mind. It's a deep somatic experience, a state of being that radiates from within, transforming your perception and your reality. Feel your body align with this new vibration. Feel the energy rising, the lightness of mind, the expansion of the heart, the fullness in every cell. It is a liberation from effort, an openness to the totality of life that wishes to express itself through you. Allow this energy to dance in your cells, create new synapses of worthiness, and rewrite your internal code. With the melody of victory, you are ready to orchestrate. Now, with this vibrational clarity and the feeling of lightness that permeates your body, allow yourself a courageous and honest introspection. Where in your life are you still actively refusing to turn the dial, to tune into the frequency of victory that awaits you? Where are you resisting your own success? Not from a lack of conscious desire, but from a subtle and deeply rooted fear that it is not deserved, that it is too difficult, or that somehow you are not ready to handle the magnitude of your own manifesting power? Identify this resistance. It can manifest as chronic procrastination, subtle self-sabotage, persistent doubt, or the exhaustive need to maintain control over every tiny detail, blocking the natural flow of the universe. Feel this resistance in your body. Recognize it not as a moral failing, but as a signal, an urgent invitation to let go, to trust, to finally allow the success you so deeply crave to flood your existence without effort, without struggle, without the exhaustion that has accompanied you until now. This is the moment of your active surrender to the totality of your greatness. Understanding and activating vibrational permission is, without a doubt, a game changer. The quantum tool that turns off the vicious cycle of the paradox of inverse vibration and initiates a new flow of manifestation. You have learned to stop struggling, to release the resistance that shackled you, and to tune your inner dial to the crystalline frequency of victory. But true mastery does not reside merely in tuning in once, but in maintaining this crystalline connection, in transforming this permission into a constant state of being, into a new, lasting, and unwavering reality. How do you ensure that this new vibration becomes your default state of being, your unshakable energetic signature, shielding you against the old internal scripts and maintaining the continuous flow of effortless manifestation? How do you practice this permission daily, embedding it so deeply within your being that victory becomes your natural condition, your way of life, an inevitable expression of your true essence? The answer lies in delving even deeper into the art of vibrational coherence, which will be our next step. If the truth of vibrational permission resonates deeply in your soul, if you are ready to abandon the exhaustive struggle and tune your frequency to victory with a real and unwavering energetic decision, then I invite you to an act of collective co-creation that transcends the individual. Share this video now with 3 people you know who are exhausted from struggling, trapped in the cycle of unrewarded effort, desperately needing a new perspective to allow success and abundance to flourish in their lives. By sharing, you not only send a wave of light and clarity to the universe, but also solidify your own intention to allow, creating a collective resonance field that amplifies your own manifestation and that of everyone involved. Let this be your first conscious and powerful act of vibrational permission in action, an unwavering commitment to your new reality of fluidity and triumph that is already manifesting. Click the share button and feel the power of that decision echo through you.